for other teams. How much does that prepare you for Charlie Brewer?
We feel as if, like I said, he's a great player, but we know that he's got a cannon. So we're going to focus on that, and then we're going to just do what we do. We're going to play him how we know how to play, and every person's different. So it's great experience playing other people, but you really got to study the individual person because they're all different.
31. I'm sure you know what that number means at this point. How did that happen? Looking back at that game,
the same way it happened at Texas Tech this year. The same way it happened at Kansas last year. It's just something that we still have a bad taste in our mouth from last week. Last week's over. I know I keep bringing that up, but now it's time to move on. And I think we have a very motivated team. I think we know who we are. I think we know what we're here to do. And so I think that there's nothing that can stop us now. So personally, to me, I think that where we're at, we've covered those bases before, and we're experienced. We have experience with things like that, and I think that we know how to prevent it now.
How much do you guys preach to the younger guys about you guys are still tied for first in the Big 12 and still control your own destiny from here on out?
Yeah, absolutely. This is not like high school. Losing one game isn't a big deal. I mean, it's rough. You know what I'm saying? And it hurts us, especially with us having to set out a game earlier in the season. But the Big 12 is still wide open. I mean, everybody in our conference has a loss, even though they're not all in the conference. Everybody in our conference has a loss. So it's kind of one of those things. It's still wide open, and the teams that are still competing with us, we still got to play them, and that's going to give us perfect opportunity to take advantage of it.
Dana said tackling is a mindset. To what extent is that true, and to what extent are there technical things that you guys can work on?
Every week we have the same approach as to studying the game or film, but this week we really put an emphasis on tackling. We had this long week, so we went pads earlier. Yesterday was our typical Tuesday, and then today we're back in pads again. Tackling has been a big emphasis of ours. 31 missed tackles. It's a big number. That's rough. So we are definitely going to. We've been working on it, and I think that all the guys have in their head that it's a mindset now. And I think, when you look across the board, it wasn't just tackling that caused us to have these issues. Yeah, it was a huge part of it, but we played bad. All around. From the D-line all the way back to the safeties, it was a bad game. And I just think that we got our heads on straight now. We got it out of us, and we're ready to go now.
Reese, how do you rate in your mind a defensive lineman's abilities?
There's a lot that you look at, but in-game performance, it's not about stats. It's about what you do and how you, not only make plays, but how you free up others. A big part of being a defensive lineman, especially in an odd-stack defense, is, freeing up those guys like David Long and Tonk and Shea, whoever's back there. What matters is not statistics. That has nothing to do with it.
Sacks
that has nothing to do with it. No, you're a team player, and that's all what this defense is about. How you rate it is not just your performance on the field, but who you are as a teammate, who you are as a person, how you handle adversity, just like what happened last week. There's a lot of things that go into making a defensive lineman in an odd-stack defense a good player. But I feel like those are some of the characteristics.
How about just raising havoc, shall we say, in the backfield, being able to get in there and make things happen, and not necessarily get the tackle, but make the running back run the wrong hole, make the quarterback throw quick or run out.
Absolutely, yeah. We actually have this chart up in the D-line room. It's called twofers. It's about how many blocks can you eat up and free up other people. It's not just hanging on blocks. If you get lots of penetration and the guy, whoever's on you, guard, tackle, center, whoever it may be, is still trying to block you, and you pick off a puller maybe who couldn't get to the linebacker on the other side, and that's another twofer. We call it just double teams, taking up people. So penetration has a lot to do with it, but it's really about being disruptive and dominating. Even if we're not constantly in the backfield, because we actually talk about getting too much penetration is a bad thing often. So just us being disruptive is enough. It doesn't mean we have to make all the plays, but we always make it an emphasis that if they run on us, that's our fault. It doesn't care if it's a perimeter run, if it's an inside run. If they run on us, that's our fault. So for us, it's to be disruptive and handle the run.